reach out to me and open up a case because they never received the item. I pulled up the tracking information and it says it was delivered that day. Well, they sent me the email after it supposedly got delivered. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Richard. I'm a part-time reseller on eBay where I go to garage sales, thrift stores. I take those undervalued items and I sell them on eBay for a profit. Today's video, we've got a few items going out. It is 2 different days. I had a few items that I had to ship out. Also, too, on this video, I want to talk about bad buyers. We hear a lot of other resellers talking about bad buyers, and when is eBay going to do something about the bad buyers rather than punishing us resellers? So we'll get into some orders and start pulling, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about that. I have one case that happened to me, and I'll let you know what happened. So let's jump into the eBay store and start pulling. Today we've got 10 orders going out, so let's get started. First thing is a Disney Pixar men's t-shirt graphic tee Toy Story, and it's in K2. Right down over here. Picked this up at my thrift store. I'm into it for $2. This sold for $18.95, and the buyer is paying $5.60 in shipping. Next thing is in bin M. It's Aquatech 3-pack easy charge filter cartridges. It's in bin M. Going back over here. These right here, I didn't put in the custom SKU what I paid for these. I would say I'm probably no more than $1 into this. This sold for $18.66, and it is going free shipping. This is light, probably go out at an 8-ounce rate. Okay, we have another magazine going out. Just checking if we have any other ones. Doesn't look like it. This one is the Beatles, the making of the White Album. I don't think it's in here. Okay, this one took a little bit to find. It's this one right here. So I'm into this for nothing. This sold for $11.01, and the buyer is paying $3.92 in shipping. Next thing is on shelf 8. That should be over here. Yes, I see it. The vintage 70s Kobe Kitchen floral enamelware large mixing bowl. This one right here. Picked this up at a local thrift store here in town for 50 cents. This sold for $20.96, and the buyer is paying $12.90 in shipping. Next thing is we have a pair of Logitech speakers. These are the S120s, bin I. Okay. Picked these up at a thrift store, paid $2 for them. This sold for $12.71. and the buyer is paying $11.80 in shipping. For him. Next one, this is an old one, but glad to see it's moving out. It's L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation Makeup Milk Chocolate. It's in 10. That is in J2. You're not seeing J2. Is it over here? Ah, all the way down here. Picked this up on RA Walmart clearance. I'm into it for $1. This sold for $6.95, and it is going free shipping. Something like this, I wouldn't suggest picking this up unless you get multiple quantities of it. Unless you get multiple quantities of these, and you're paying no more than a quarter to 50 cents each for these. I ended up paying $1 for this. Okay, we have a pre-owned hand-cooked apple pie dish with recipe, 11 inches. It's going to be right down here. Picked this up at one of the local thrift stores here in town for $1. This sold for $19.95, and the buyer is paying $9.50 in shipping. Jumping into the video real quick, what I wanted to talk about is bad buyers. Most of the times, it seems like resellers like us end up getting the short end of the stick. Is eBay getting their stuff back together? I had this item, I'll throw it up on the screen here somewhere, reach out to me and open up a case because they never received the item. I pulled up the tracking information and it says it was delivered that day. Well, they sent me the email after it supposedly got delivered. I don't know if he was pulling a fast one. What I did immediately is I updated and sent him the tracking information, and I says it shows that it was delivered, and I had him check with his local post office. I say him, could have been a her. Came back and said that the post office didn't have it. So at that point in time, I didn't know how else to communicate, and immediately I got a case opened up against me for item not delivered. At that point in time, there's nothing you can do and wait to hear back from eBay. Well, eBay did come back, and then they said they sided with me and they are not refunding the buyer back. I went back and looked at the buyer. They did have 25 feedback, but it looked like it was all from sellers. Obviously, because a lot of us put on auto feedback, and that's what it looked like. He had been on the platform for well over a year. eBay came in and said that they were not refunding the buyer back, and they're closing the case in my favor. So, is eBay finally getting a backbone and standing up for us good resellers? Let me comment down below. Let me know some of your horror stories that you've had dealing with eBay. I hope things are starting to change, where they're starting to look at our sell history and then look at the buyer and if they're opening cases left and right. I don't know if they open up a lot of cases, but it was immediately eBay came back and said that they are siding with me and they are not refunding the buyer back. Let's jump back in and see what else sold. Now, this next order is a pretty good one. It's a lot of 5 media pump and style replacement tubing for breast pumps.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the f*** is that?
Bin I2. right up here. Yep, I think it's these right here. Okay, need one more. Okay. Got the camera backwards.
Are you serious?
As you can see, I'm into this. I paid $4.74 for each box. I added all 5 of these together. All 5 of these sold for $52.66, and the buyer is paying $8.15 in shipping. Okay, two more things going out. We have a board game. This is on shelf 10, so it's going to be right over here on the other side. And I think it's this one. Yes, it's this one right here. Paid $3 for this at my local thrift store. This was brand new. This sold for $21.21, and the buyer is paying $12.85 in shipping. But it was open. As you can see now, I'm starting to cellophane wrap these up to keep them from getting maybe some scratches, because I did have a return on this guy, and I did have detailed photos, because you can see right there where there's a tear mark, but it's still brand new sealed. They returned it back and said it wasn't brand new, so I figured at least with the cellophane it'll help keep it somewhat protected. Last thing we have going out is a Jesus Our Perfect Hope 365 Devotions leather fine binding. It's in A2. So that's going to be right there. So we can get it without having to go all the way in here. Yep. My luck, it's probably all the way at the bottom. There it is right here. Pick this up at one of the local thrift stores here in town for free. This sold for $18.66, and the buyer is paying $4.67 in shipping. Okay, we got 2 orders going out. First one is a OEM HP OfficeJet 4500 printer USB cable. Picked up the entire printer for $2, and the printer didn't work, so I decided just to go ahead and sell the cable off. It's in B2. That's going to be over here. Should be right down here. I believe it's that one. So, didn't make much off of this, but we did recoup our money back. This sold for $4.50. And the buyer is paying $4.85 in shipping. Next item we have going out is a vintage lot set of 2 Simpsons set of ×6 buttons. They do date back to 1990. The collection And I picked these up from, a lot of you probably know, Brian, Mr. Buys a Lot.
Sticker hashtag skeleton picker.
Brian, Mr. Buys a Lot.
Mr. Buys a Lot. Have fun.
There's Eric back there.
Eric.
I bought a bunch of vintage 90s pins. I've sold most of them off, made our money back, and well into the profit. So I've been sitting on these a while. It's in T2. That's right here. Let's see if we can... Ah, here they are, right here. So we only need 2 of these. Can't open it up one-handed. So it's these right here. These 2 sold for $28.65, and the buyer is paying $5.65 in shipping. So those are the items we had going out, me being a part-time reseller. Some of the items were really good. Some of the items probably not so good. I wouldn't suggest picking those up. Those are things that have been sitting in my store. Pick those up when I first started reselling, and a lot of mistakes we make as a new reseller. That's why the what sold videos are so important, is you go watch and see what is selling and what they're selling for. So I hope this gave you some ideas of some of the stuff you can look for while you're out there sourcing for items. Also too, I hope this is a good trend as far as with eBay and dealing with bad buyers. I know a lot of us are just tired of dealing with the bad buyers, and a lot of people decide to quit the platform and go somewhere else. Me, I've been on eBay now for 4 years. I'm happy with it. Not happy with some of the stuff that happens. It's all part of doing business. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Really helps the channel. Also too, if you're not currently subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification, and you'll be notified the next time I do a video. Until next time, keep picking.